Hello everyone, my name is EK and today I want to have a chat about the massive uproar going on in the Palia community in regards to the way Singularity 6 operates the cash shop. Now, before you go and fight it out in the comments and, help my video get some traction, thank you very much by the way, please put down your pitchforks and let me provide some insight into both sides of the argument. Alright, let me start by talking about the business model itself. Palia is a completely free-to-play game with a fully optional cash shop. The developers promised there would be no overlapping items between the game and the cash shop. This means anything bought with Palia coins is cash shop only, and anything designed to be acquired in-game can only be gotten in-game. So how has this turned out now that we are in the open beta? Well, so far they have been true to their words. No power can be bought in any way, and everything is completely cosmetic and optional. That's a good start. Next up is their promise to not include any psychological predatory cash shop mechanics. This one, unfortunately, did not fully deliver. Palia uses the well-known free-to-play game trick of mismatching the price of the cash shop items and its currency, the Palia coin. They have bundles that do not line up to the prices of the actual purchasable items, meaning you are always left with some leftover Palia coins that you don't want to go to waste, resulting in more purchases down the line because you'll have some leftover from the previous one. After the introduction of pets in the most recent patch, another layer has been added. You now get a pet after buying any amount of Palia coins and get even more of them after buying a total of 3,000. This lack of direct acquisition serves only to push people to spending 3,000 at least. And you know what they say about having a foot in the door. So, in short, they went back on their promise to not have any predatory cash out mechanics. However, having said that, both mechanics are at least very transparent and well defined. There is no random loot box and you know exactly what you are getting. So, while I am not excited about it, it's not as big a turnoff for me personally. Let's move on to the actual prices in the in-game store. This is definitely a part where some fair criticism can be given. The store offers a bundle that grants you 425 Palia coins and grants you more bonus coins the more you buy in one go. The odd thing is that the cheapest standalone item in the store is 850. With the most expensive one being 2550. This means that you can't even buy anything with just the smallest 425 package. It serves no purpose as a standalone bundle and can only be used while also buying at least one other bundle. Oh, and just to put it in perspective, the cheapest item is €8.50 and the most expensive one is over €24. That is for one single outfit. Now, you can buy them in bundles, where you buy multiple versions of the same outfit, but you're kind of buying the same thing multiple times. And yeah, you're getting a discount there, but it's still very, very expensive. You could buy a full AAA game for the price of one outfit bundle. Now, the Palia coins do come slightly cheaper if you buy larger bundles of Palia coins, of course. So these prices are a little bit flexible, but they're in a rough range. Standalone, this issue is definitely annoying for people without the spending power to get at least some of the items. However, if we compare this to the practices deployed by most free-to-play developers, it's still relatively consumer-friendly, albeit a tad bit expensive. Now, the thing that baffles me is the lack of a cheap item that can be bought with a small amount of coins. Even from a purely psychological point of view, a game wants to make the first purchase seem super cheap to establish a spending habit. It's shown in research that people are much more likely to keep spending once they bought something once. I suppose you in some way could call this sticking to their word, but to me this simply looks like a bit of an oversight. At least I guess they added the cat to entice a purchase in the first place, to kind of take the position of the cheap item, but I don't like it. Finally, I want to judge the cash shop from a business point of view. It's important we establish that this cash shop, albeit expensive, is very limited, as there is no reason for repeat purchases. Nobody is going to become a mobile game level whale, and spend like 100k on this game. Now, while the inability to buy items from the shop is a very good thing on the surface, whales are generally needed to make sure the completely free-to-play players and the low-spending players are able to play the game without the game dying due to lack of funding. There not being any whale tactics means the cash shop needs a larger amount of players to make small to medium purchases to make sure the game keeps running, especially considering the surprisingly large amount of developers working on this game. So at the end here, let me just say that I fully understand where the frustration is coming from. I totally see that the developers have gone against their word and have broken promises. They have deployed tactics they said they weren't going to do. But I do think in the end that these are not in fact the most important promises. As long as the cash shop stays completely separate from the game, and items such as pets and outfits are added to the game and continue to be added to the game, and most importantly can also be acquired by gameplay, then I do think the cash shop can keep operating the way it does. The hardest thing is going to be to keep the cash shop not aimed at whale behavior patterns with the likes of endless loot boxes, getting enough spending from your average customers, and making sure the cash shop doesn't completely overwhelm the game in terms of the development priority. We have seen this happening with the likes of Guild Wars 2, where the idea of the game sounded absolutely amazing, and I definitely love that game a lot. But what has happened there is because the game doesn't have any pay to win, it completely relies on cosmetics, the developers have to put more and more extravagant things in the cash shop to make sure people keep purchasing their items. These are all items that in a perfect world would have been in the actual game as drops from bosses, etc. And I'm just hoping that Palia can somehow walk that fine line where both the people buying from the cash shop can be happy, but also the people who are not spending or spending very little are not overwhelmed. Alright, thank you for joining me for that breakdown. That wasn't really supposed to convince you of either point of view. I just wanted to, have a moment and kind of talk about what I thought of the cash shop and what I think is happening and how I see the future going. It's more of an analysis where I just want to present you with the information. Feel free to now, pick up those pitchforks again, start furiously typing in the comments, tell me how I'm wrong about everything, and let me know what you think, because I do think as much as there's outrage right now, it is a bit overblown, and I'm just hoping this game has a bright future, because as much as there are things wrong with the game, and I'll do future videos about that, I do think it is a very, very fun game, and it has a lot of potential. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you around soon. See you around, guys.